Today, I am going to discuss with you a very important ordinance which has been promulgated by our President Shri Ramnath Kovind on 22nd of April 2020 to overcome the problem faced by healthcare service personnel who are the victims of violence committed by the general public against them. In the present scenario, when whole world is facing the problem of COVID-19, only one class of persons who can protect our human society is the healthcare service personnel. But what will be happen if the people are committing the act of violence against these categories of persons and prevent them doing their legal duty? To overcome this problem, when Parliament is not in session, the President of India had issued the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Ordinance 2020, for which the power has been given to the President of India by Article 123, Clause number 1 of the Constitution of India. And in exercise of the power conferred by Article 123, Clause number 1 of the Constitution of India, when Parliament of India is not in session, the President of India, Shri Ramnath Kovind, to prohibit the act of violence which can be committed against the healthcare service personnel, promulgate the present ordinance to further amend the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. The present ordinance was passed on 22nd of April 2020. And this ordinance is also applicable from that very date, that is 22nd of April 2020. This ordinance is applicable against the act of violence which is committed against the healthcare service personnel who are carrying their duty in relation to the epidemic related responsibilities. Under the ordinance, what type of act are regarded as act of violence? These are any type of harassment which impacting the living or working condition of healthcare service personnel and preventing them from discharging their duties shall be regarded as act of violence. If any type of harm, intimidation, hurt, injury or danger to the life of such healthcare service personnel, either within the premises of a clinical establishment or otherwise, that shall also be regarded as act of violence. If there is any type of obstruction to such healthcare service personnel in discharge of their duties, either within the premises of a clinical establishment or otherwise, that shall also be regarded as act of violence. And if there is loss or damage to any property, that property may be movable or immovable. If there is loss or damage to any property or document which is in the custody of or is in relation to such healthcare service personnel, then that loss or damage to the property or document shall also be regarded as act of violence against healthcare service personnel. But now the question arises, what are the persons who can be covered under the term healthcare service personnel? It is also defined in the ordinance. All doctors, nurses, paramedical workers, community health workers or any other person who is empowered under this act to do the work as healthcare service personnel, or any person which will be declared by the state government concerned that this person should also be regarded as healthcare service personnel, will be service personnel who will be protected under the provisions of this present ordinance. But it is also very important that the doctor, nurses, paramedical workers or community workers not include only the doctor, nurses, paramedical workers or community workers who are working in the public duty, but also include the persons who are working under the private capacity. But this act is applicable only to such healthcare service personnel who are carrying their duties in relation to the epidemic related responsibilities. That means to say, if any healthcare service personnel are not carrying their duties in relation to the epidemic related responsibilities, then they will not be protected under this ordinance. And what will be the punishment to those persons who are committing the act of violence against healthcare service personnel? For this, there is amendment in section number 3. And according to section 3 subsection 2, after amendment, whoever commits or abets either an act of violence against a healthcare service personnel, or whoever abets or causes damage or loss to any property, shall be liable to imprisonment for a minimum period of 3 months, which may extend up to 5 years. Okay? And they have also to pay the fine, which is minimum of rupees 5,000 and which may extend up to rupees 2 lakh. And if the act of violence causes grievous hurt as defined under section 320 of IPC to such healthcare service personnel, then the minimum imprisonment shall be for a period of 6 months, which may extend up to 7 years, along with minimum fine of rupees 1 lakh, which may extend up to rupees 5 lakh. And what will be the nature of the offences under the ordinance? The offence under the ordinance shall be cognizable offence as well as non-bailable. That means to say, under this type of offences, the police officer has the authority to arrest the accused without the warrant of the magistrate, as well as bail in this case will not be given to the accused as a matter of right. It will be the discretion of the judge whether to give the bail or not. And who will investigate the offences under the ordinance? The offences under the present ordinance shall be investigated only by such police officer who is not below the rank of inspector. Okay, and what is the period within which the investigation has to be completed by the IO? The investigation by the IO shall be completed. I use the word shall be. It is mandatory on the IO. He has to complete the investigation within a period of 30 days from the date of registration of the first information report. It is the mandate under section number 3A of the Act. And after presentation of the challan, what will be the trial period for this type of offences? The trial for the offence committed under the present ordinance has to be completed within 1 year from the date when the examination of the witness starts. That means to say, when the first prosecution witness will come in the witness box, from that day the 1 year shall be started. Okay, so the trial of the offences committed under the present ordinance has to be completed within 1 year from the date when the examination of the witness starts, and this period may be extended. Okay, this period of 1 year may be extended by the court, but the judge shall record the reason for not completing the trial within the period mentioned above. This is the mandate of section number 3A. And now the question arises whether there can be the chances of compromise in this type of offences. The answer is yes. The offences laid down under this ordinance may, with the permission of the court, be compounded by the person against whom such act of violence is committed under section number 3C. That means to say, the person against whom such act of violence is committed can compound the matter, can make the compromise with the offender but it should be with the permission of the court. Okay, the offences laid down under this ordinance may, with the permission of the court, be compounded by the person against whom such act of violence is committed. This is the mandate of section number 3C. And there shall be a presumption to such offences where a person is prosecuted for committing an offence punishable under section 3 subsection 2. And what is the offence under section 3 subsection 2? That means when he causes grievous hurt to health care service personnel, then the court shall presume, it is very important, the court shall presume that such person had committed such offence, unless the contrary is proved, unless the accused proves that I had not committed this offence. But it will be the rebuttable presumption of law, which has to be proved by the accused that I had not committed the offence mentioned in the ordinance. The very important provision under this ordinance is the compensation, which is to be provided to the victims of the acts of violence. This is in addition to the punishment of the offences given in the present ordinance. Okay, so in addition to the punishment of the offences given in the present ordinance, the person so convicted shall also be liable to pay by way of compensation such amount as may be determined by the court for causing hurt or grievous hurt to any healthcare service personnel. Means to say that if the person is convicted under the trial and punishment is inflicted on that person, then the court shall determine that what amount of compensation is to be provided to the victim for hurt or grievous hurt which has been caused to him by the accused. Okay, so this compensation is for the injury which was made to the healthcare service personnel, and if there is any damage to the property or loss caused by the healthcare service personnel in respect of any pecuniary matter, then the compensation shall be payable twice the amount of fair market value of the damaged property or loss cost, and that loss will be determined by the court irrespective of the fact whether the offence had already been compounded or not. Means to say, it is not a matter that the accused had already made the compromise with the healthcare service personnel. Even if the compromise has been made between the victim and the accused, even then the court has the power to grant compensation to the victim, which will be double amount of the damaged property. Okay, or if there is any loss caused to the healthcare service personnel, that amount will be determined by the court what loss had been caused to that person, and twice amount of the loss will be given to the victim by the court. And if any person fails to pay the above mentioned amount of compensation, then such amount shall be recovered as an arrear of land revenue under the Revenue Recovery Act 1890. This is the provision of section number 3E. So this is something about the present ordinance. If you like my channel, then please like my video as well as make subscription of my channel and share it more and more so that new videos can be given to you by me. Thank you very much.